This one is £147,900, and they are huge, great big vehicles. Hello, so you might have seen my video on motorhome versus campervans, where I compared one versus the other one. And a few people did comment saying, yeah, but what about a bigger transporter? What about a van in between? Well, that is where the Crafter comes in, the Volkswagen Crafter. Now, speaking to a couple of the converters actually here at the show, and they're saying that they are now starting to concentrate a little bit more on the Crafter because they are becoming a lot more popular. And that also goes for some of the other similar sized vehicles, some of the Fords and the Renaults. For some reason, people are seeming to be buying quite a lot of those. And seeing at the show here, there are quite a lot of converters who've brought some along. And one of them being Bespoke, which I have featured a lot on the channel before. They have unveiled the brand new conversion. And today we're going to have a quick look at this, as well as seeing what else is at the show as far as Crafter is concerned. This bespoke VW Crafter edition has passed its NCC approval. It's VW qualified and type approved. I'm going to do a full review on this, and I'm going to hopefully test it later this year. But briefly, for now, it's a 4-berth, including a pop-top. The electrics not only look absolutely fantastic in this unit, but they're really functional as well, with solar being standard. It's got a lithium iron phosphate battery and an inverter, so it can actually be used 240 volts off grid. It's got a really nice LCD display for control of heating, lighting, and the water tanks on board the vehicle. It's got a full kitchen with a hob, a microwave, a sink, and a good sized fridge, which does open both ways. There's a bathroom and a toilet, a sink, a shower, and it's also got hot water from the Whale heating system. I really do look forward to taking this out and actually having a proper good look at it. None of these are actually reviews of the vans, it's just purely having a look just to see what medium-sized vehicles are available. So let's go and have a look at some more. So here we go with a Hillside van, and this is built on the MAN platform. VW Crafter, no, MAN, it's a MAN, but this is very, very similar. It's not got a pop-top roof, but look inside, this is absolutely beautiful. It's got a full-size shower. It's really nicely upholstered with the leather on the outside. Coming to the rear, it's got a sink with this to cover it, which is a nice little addition, and it's got a 2-burner gas hob and an induction. Is this the future? Is this what we're looking at for the future? Thetford have brought out these dual purpose, these dual fueled hobs, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of these in vans as time goes by. As you can see at the back, it's got this lovely big sized double bed in here, really quite nice. It's well made, and it's got a skylight, storage cupboards around the top, and that's on both sides to make sure that you've got his and hers storage cupboards. You obviously want to be going short and only having storage for one of you. And it's got a toilet. Perfect, a camper van with a toilet. And I did say last time that camper vans don't really have toilets. Well, then I was particularly talking about the transporter size camper van, but this is now a much bigger vehicle. Now we are talking about the medium wheelbases of the Crafters and the MANs and the Fiats and the Peugeots and the Renaults and the Fords. All these vehicles are becoming far more popular. There seems to be a lot more of this size vehicle at the show this year, and actually speaking to a couple of the converters, well, actually one of the converters hasn't even got any transporters at the show, and that's because they can't get hold of them. The VW Transporter, which is kind of the bread and butter to a lot of these manufacturers, they can't get the vehicles, so obviously they can't produce them, so they're having to look at other markets. Now I know Swift do very well. They sell a lot of motorhomes, lots of different sizes, and they're now doing the camper vans, like we've already seen in a previous video when we've looked at the Monza, which is based on the Ford Tornado platform. Swift have been doing these motorhomes for several years, and they're actually saying that this size vehicle is selling very well at the moment. And because of the size of these medium size vehicles, you do get a lot of different layouts. The layouts for the vehicles do change drastically from one manufacturer to another. And I notice that this, on the Hillside one, is also NCC approved, as we've seen with the Bespoke. A big thing. And like I've said, most of the manufacturers who are here at the show are NCC approved, and they do actually value what that actually brings to them, what that means. And yet it costs a lot of money for them to do what they do, but they do it for a reason. They do it because they want to keep a product which is going to be safe, that people are going to be safe in when they're sleeping in it, when they're eating in it, when they're drinking in it, when they're driving the precious ones around. They want to make sure that the product which they're bringing to the market is going to be safe for everybody who's in it. So that's why they do it. That's why they spend this extra money, to make sure that everything is safe, above board, and they carry out the checks when they need to carry them out. Anyway, let's have a look at some more vans. It isn't just crafters though, of these size of vehicles that people are interested in at the moment. I mean, look at this. This is a Persio. This is built by Devon Conversions. And it's a similar size to the Crafter. Again, much bigger than the Transporter. It's more like a motorhome. You're getting a lot bigger storage area, a lot more space. You've got really nice, light and airy, comfortable interior. It's much more like a motorhome. You've got a proper oven and a grill and a hob. Look at that. You don't see that in a Transporter, do you? Just got much more creature comforts, but it is a bigger vehicle, like I spoke about in my motorhomes video. These motorhomes are built for different people. It's a lot harder to drive that type of vehicle on a country road. You're just going to come across traffic and not be able to get past it as easily. But this is smaller than a motorhome, so it kind of sits in between the two. It's a medium wheelbase vehicle, and they are becoming more and more popular because they are much easier to drive than the bigger motorhomes. Okay, so we've talked about camper vans and we've talked about the middle ground of the crafters and the MANs, and the motorhomes are a big vehicle, but these are something else. These are more like coaches, and they are huge, great big vehicles, and obviously because of the size you can fit so much more equipment in them. There's a lot more to them than your standard camper van or your motorhome. Now, we saw the Cavet Garage, which I talked about on the Jerba, I think it was. Now look at the size of that. I mean, that's like a 5th bedroom. They are huge. They command a premium for a reason. The build quality of the product is fantastic. They've got just about everything on them. Seen the awning light, which we saw on the Ford, but look at that. It's a full length one. Superb. I'm not going to go inside it because it's not really what we talk about on this channel, but that is a fantastic vehicle. So here we go, we've got one medium size, medium wheelbase again, built on a Peugeot chassis. And people keep asking, why is the big price differences? Well, this one's like £75,000, whereas if you compare it to one of the other ones which we've been looking at, one of the Crafters, well, the Volkswagen is obviously a brand which holds its value better. The base vehicle itself is more expensive than a Peugeot, and that also goes for the Fiat, which we've got next to us. Now, Fiats are obviously got a great reputation for making motorhomes. They've been making them for many, many years, but the values don't hold as well as they do for the Volkswagens. Is the spec the same? Well, no. If you look at the top of this one, which, as I said, is 75,000, and then you look at the one over there, which is 75,000, neither of them have got pop tops. So immediately, that's going to change the value of the vehicle. You've also got various different aspects of spec. Have these got lithium-ion batteries? Have they got inverters? Have they got induction hobs, or are they just gas? There's lots of different differences which you can find within the vans themselves as to why the price ranges will differ. So here we go, we've got the Westfalia MAN-based Sven Hedin, and as you see, the door, opening door on the right side. Well, obviously in the UK we drive on the left, so you want that opening door to be on the left side as you pull over to that side of the road. Obviously this vehicle couldn't be sold in Australia for that very reason, but apart from that, it's very similar to the other Crafters which we've seen, with the 2 seats in the rear with the table in the middle, swivel seats up front. We've got a hob which looks like it's just a 2-burner gas hob. As per the others, you've got a shower, you've got units, you've got everything. All looks very similar. The difference with this one is it's got the gloss interior and a skylight. It hasn't got the pop top. It obviously does have the awning rail, and it's got windows, obviously, so you can see out. It's got sets of blinds, so you've got no issues as far as the blinds are concerned. Again, it's a nice vehicle. £92,000 it is. Not for me, but I do know that this is extremely popular with a lot of people. A lot of people do like these. One thing I do like is the wheels. I'm quite taken by these off-road wheels. I think they're very good for driving in certain situations. Right, so we've seen some of these medium wheelbase size vans, but we haven't seen any at this price point. This one is £147,900, and it again has got a pop-top roof, but £150,000. Let's have a look at it to see where this value comes from. It's got nice paintwork. That is rather fetching, certainly very different. It's built for off-road. Look at those big Oz Racing wheels with the all-terrain tyres on them. The name of it, the Grande Adventure 604, clearly points to the fact that this is for adventures. And looking in the back, you've got some expensive mountain bikes. It's packed with 480 amp hour lithium battery. It's got a 3-watt inverter, which is definitely enough to be powering your coffee machine, and the fitted induction hob. It's got a solar panel on the roof to keep that battery topped up, which sits on the pop top, which is that extra sleeping area. And it's even got a ladder on the exterior. And of course, it's got a shower, hot water, and a toilet. This vehicle is definitely ready for adventure. So here we are at another crafter, another VW crafter for an extremely well-respected company. Jerba campervans have been around for many, many years, and they are also NCC approved. And look at their crafter conversion. Well, it's very spacious. Theirs is currently done on virtual reality, so you can actually get inside the van and you can have a look what their specification looks like. So for their van, you don't really know until you look at the virtual reality, whereas others you can actually get in and see. But it's great because at the moment it's just a prototype and they're working on it. And once they've actually completed that, they will be going for the NCC approval, so they can actually get it as an NCC approved type approved vehicle, a bit like we've already seen with the bespoke van. So there you go. There's lots of different choices there. There's lots of different designs and variations, from the Fiats and the Persios to the MANs and the Volkswagens. This is what people seem to be wanting at the moment. But is it a case of people want them, or is it just a case of that the transport isn't available and there's no real other platform which people can build on at the moment? Time's going to tell, but as I'm just walking through here, I'm surrounded by Fiats and Renaults and Sprint. There's just loads of these medium-sized vehicles. So if there's so many of them at the show, then surely people are buying them. They can't just be here just to make up the numbers. So there we go. That's what I think. The middle ground between a camper van and a motorhome. Is it for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos whilst I've been here at the NCC, you can have a look at those here. Take care. Thanks for watching.